cramming for exams is bad. That's what everyone says. But it doesn't help when you're 1 to 2 days out from an exam. It's not like you can turn back time. So you want to start cramming, but you have no clue how or what the most effective way is. Not a problem. Today, I'll be giving you 5 evidence-based steps to cramming in less than 24 hours and maximizing your score. And make sure to stick around to the end because the last one will surprise you. First and foremost, you're going to want to manage your stress through planning. It might seem counterintuitive, but planning makes sure you're time efficient and productive. It's like using Google Maps before you depart versus, well, figuring it out as you go. The plan should take up to 30 minutes in total. So I've marked down all of the weeks in the semester. For me, I have 12 weeks. In each week, I'm going to draw out the most important bits of information, the main goals of the lecture, and 2, the revision summary slide, which should be at the end of the semester. And copy and paste. This will be important for later on. Next, you're going to want to allocate a portion of your time to each week. But we can't do that without first knowing the high yield topics. Studying for the high yield topics will earn you the most marks. Your lectures will focus on certain topics or concepts more than others. For example, I've highlighted in yellow weeks 4 to 6 and 8 to 10, as they're topics that are broken down into several weeks. And if we look at the revision slide, we can see that they've hinted to study for the week 11 lab. Sweet. Alright, so I've allocated 1 hour to each topic and just a little bit more for those high yield topics. It's time to study. When it comes to exams, we want to know what the best method of study is. Evidence points to the direction of active rather than passive studying. For me personally, I like to use practice tests and exams, summarizing, and self-explanation. Methods that require you to actively think. In fact, a study by Bartoleschi and Grung found that higher exam scores were most related to mnemonics, using imagery, and practice testing, and that one could argue that the greater use of more techniques led to better learning. So I think I might add mnemonics and imagery to my list as well. For me, I like to use the main goals in the lectures as questions to test my understanding. So here's a question I actually don't know how to answer. I'll flick back to the lecture slides and search for the answer. I can then turn these 3 characteristics into a mnemonic. Make it stupid, something memorable, something like stop studying suddenly. I can then use imagery to imagine the tendons getting stronger, stiffer, and shorter. And then rinse and repeat. I'll do this with all the weeks of the semester until I'm fully confident on the content. The last and the most important step is to now complete as many practice tests as you can. Alright, whoa, I've just processed a whole lot of information here. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. The time management method I use is called the Pomodoro technique, where you take 5 minutes of break after every 25 minutes of studying and a 30-minute break after 3 cycles. It's an evidence-based method that improves your concentration among other things, such as time management and resetting your mind so that you're ready to focus again. And it's a perfect opportunity for you to walk, stretch, or have a cup of tea. With 4 evidence-based hacks under your belt, you can now explore the positive psychology. What I think is the most important and the most underrated is the positive self-talk. Self-efficacy, or one's belief in their own ability, is the difference between doing and not doing. And so if the dialogue in your head is, I'm f***ed or I'm going to fail, well, it's likely that you've given up. But if your self-talk is positive, such as, I can do it, or I'll do the best that I can, well, you open yourself up to boundless possibilities. In a period where you're experiencing a lot of stress, where there's pressure weighing on your exam performance, positive self-statements go a long way. Positive self-talk has so many benefits. For example, it reduces stress and anxiety. Time and time again, research has shown that excessive stress and anxiety can actually impair test performance. This is because of the high stress and anxiety-induced cortisol levels, which is associated with impaired attention and memory. When you reframe your negative thoughts and adopt a more positive mindset, that actually makes you more likely to bounce back from failure, as well as persevering through more difficult times, such as trying to cram for an exam in 24 hours. In this article, they found that optimism was linked to higher levels of engagement coping and lower levels of avoidance or disengagement and coping. Honestly, it's been a real saving grace for those periods where I couldn't motivate myself, but I had to cram within that 24 hours. And that is 5 evidence-based hacks to cramming in 24 hours. I definitely don't condone cramming, but sometimes it is what it is. So I hope that you found this useful, and comment down below if you managed to actually cram in 24 hours. If you haven't already, subscribe for more content to follow.